I can just say that there is a starting point, and I
No,
don't
no,
know
no,
if it's
you're not,
personal or impersonal.
you're not, no,
No, I
you're not.
can. I
Okay,
can.
listen to me. Shut the fuck up. So this is why London 2 is a fraud. So
Yeah.
anytime he says anything, listen carefully. Anytime he says anything that entails or presupposes any correlativeness with anything else, then the question is, where do you get that from? Okay.
An axiomatic approach.
Okay. Axiomatic approach is code for I imagine it. Okay. Do you accept axiomatically that God exists?
No, but that's not my approach.
No, no, you're not understanding. Good. Do you accept the assertion that God exists because it's axiomatic as being arbitrary?
Um, for you, yeah.
No. No, I didn't ask for me. Okay? If somebody asserts axiomatically that God exists, will you accept that or not?
I think it's an unnecessary addition, so I wouldn't accept it.
Okay, addition. No, 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 no. God will be the first principle. All right. Now you are you are saying it's unnecessary. Okay. Now, so is a first principle unnecessary?
Mm, I don't know.
No, okay. See, notice how he plays dumb now. This is what a fake and phony and fraud this guy is. Okay, and I will expose him every opportunity I get. Okay. Now you said God is an unnecessary supposition. It's unnecessary. Is it because God's a first principle?
It's because God has a mind. That's why I consider it to be
Okay,
unnecessary.
so when you say it's not necessary, well, here's the problem. So then you're starting with a first principle that is impersonal rather than personal. Then what you're saying is an impersonal first principle is what's necessary. Where'd you get that from?
Oh, I didn't actually say that, so
No,
that's not quite my
that's your
position.
position. No, that's your position.
No, it's not.
Okay, listen to me. You are so close to having me banning your ass from the server. You better start upping your game and stop being deceitful. Okay. Now, when you say the first principle that is a mind is it's not necessary. On what grounds do you say it's not necessary?
I am yet to have been made aware of any argument that
That's a dot.
demonstrates its
That's a dot. Okay.
necessity.
Do you have an argument for what is the first principle is impersonal? Do you have an argument for that?
No, I haven't made the argument
No,
that it
did you
isn't
did
impersonal.
you did you did you hold on a second. There's no neutrality here. Okay? So let's make this clear. Either any facts or propositions that you invoke, they will either in your view necessitate referencing the necessity of God as the first principle or you will not. Which do you do?
I do not.
Okay. Now, so the God being the first principle being a mind, right? You're saying you haven't heard an argument for that. Now, do you have an argument that the first principle is impersonal?
I don't have an argument that proves it to be impersonal. No.
No,
So
then what? Okay, then by your own criterion, you have to abandon it. Therefore, you neither have a starting point of which is personal or impersonal. Therefore, you have no starting point. If you have no starting point, you have no ultimate grounds to invoke temporal states.
no, I can just say that there is a starting point, and I
No,
don't
no,
know
no,
if it's
you're not. You're
personal or
not. No, you're
impersonal.
not. You're not. No,
No, I
you're not
can.
under.
I
Okay,
can.
listen to me. Shut the fuck up. Again, you're engaging in your usual deception. Okay, you don't have the luxury of claiming you're neutral. Okay, now, are you when you invoke facts? Okay, when you invoke particulars. Okay, do those necessitate conceptually referencing the necessity of God as the first principle?
No, not from my perspective.
Good. Then by default, you're operating that the first principle is impersonal. Are we clear?
I'm operating from the principle that it need
No,
not
no, no.
be
Listen
personal.
to me. I'm telling you, this is the last fucking time. You better stop with your dishonesty, okay? Because you're
Just get
going
it
to be
over with,
banned.
Darth. Mute
You're
me.
not going to be banned from this channel. You're going to be fucking banned from the server. I have had it with you. Every damn conversation I have ever had with you, you are deceitful. Now, let's make it very clear. If you're going to invoke temporal states, okay? temporal states are either going to have as their precondition, as a first principle, it will either be personal or impersonal. You have decided that it is not necessary to reference as first principle God, a mind. And your reason for that is because you don't have an argument for it. It therefore necessarily follows for you to invoke any temporal states whatsoever that you are presupposing, whether you want to admit it or not. And I'm making it clear to you right now. And if you deny this, I'm going to ban you. Okay. Since you refuse, see, he's going to get banned for lying. Okay. I'll put up with a certain amount of trolling, but if you lie to me, your head is on the chopping block. Now, if you refuse to acknowledge that the first principle is a mind, God, right? And your reason was because I don't have an argument for that. The only way that you can invoke any temporal states is if the first principle is consequently impersonal, because you've already decided it is not necessary to reference the necessity of the first principle being personal. So the only other option as for a first principle is that it is impersonal. Is that what you are operating from?
No, it could be personal, but it could be
Okay,
impersonal.
bye. You're done. Okay. He's going to be fucking banned. He's a fake, a phony, and he's a fraud, and he's a pathological liar, just like Boris is.
Hello?
Yeah. See, if you're going to come into these debate rooms, you're free to debate and with a swelled chest like a silverback gorilla in heat, okay? But just stop the lying. Okay?
Is my mic working?
It's working beautifully.
Who are you debating just now?
It was London. I've had it with that piece
Oh,
of garbage.
London.
London is such a piece of garbage. He turns around and says, "Well, God is not necessary. It's not necessary." Well, if God's not necessary, then you can't turn around and say, "Well, he could be." What? I mean, where do they grow these people? Where? Oh, I know. They're grown in a petri dish in the bowels of the Democratic National Committee.